And what's your favorite part of the Thanksgiving meal?
When people leave and go home.
Fair enough.
I do this really weird thing with my mashed potatoes, and I've done it since a little kid. I get my mashed potatoes and I make a pool, and then I put corn and then gravy, and then I cover it up and eat it.
That's awesome. Try that. And a fun fact that nobody would know about you until now.
I have a lot of those, but I'm a twin born on Valentine's Day with double sets of eyelashes.
Wow. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And Devinder.
I guess.
Same questions. Unless you want to change them.
I think my favorite part is the turkey. Nothing else. I think I really love pineapple on pizza. I don't have a twin or two eyelashes.
You don't have double eyelashes?
I don't. Yeah.
No. Well, thank you so much for joining me. It's good to see you again. I'm going to.
Thank you so much, Bill. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And thank you for being a member of our membership committee. So the membership committee is looking for members, if anyone's interested. And welcome to all of our friends who are online via Zoom tonight. So we'll have a few more joining us hopefully later tonight, right before Razia joins us. It is. I think we moved on to a different box, so. Well, this is working. There.
I'll try it from back here. Tell me when.
We're just having so much fun. It's always an exciting night at Rotary, especially when we're out. So. All right, well, so upcoming, we have some service events coming up. So we have Rotary Lights, which I think we're about 50% signed up for. We need more people at the late shift. If you've ever done Rotary Lights before volunteering, could you throw your hand in here? Okay. Does anybody, like, for those who haven't joined, does anybody want to say a quick 10-second piece about it? Did you enjoy it? Was it fun? Did you feel festive?
I felt cold.
What's that?
I felt cold.
Oh, cold. All right, bundle up. Yes, especially with wind coming off of the river, bundle up. But it is a lot of fun. Highly recommended. The late shift is also nice because most of the people are gone towards the end of the shift, so you can have the park to yourself. And it's very quiet, kind of pretty with the lights. Next slide, please. All right, so I think Ashley sent out an email earlier today about the White Privilege Symposium. If anybody has questions, please reach out to Ashley, but it's kind of an interesting, unique opportunity here in La Crosse. So if you are interested, it is Ugly Sweater Weekend, but we do have an entrance. So if you have questions, please talk to Ashley, but yeah. Okay, next slide, please. We've got the turkey trot, ugly sweater, and then Rotary Lights. So I saw two hands. This is service. Caitlin, let's go first. What's up?
Yeah, for goodness sake, family sponsor event. We'll be shopping for our foster family on December 8th, which is a Wednesday. We'll decide on the meeting place, but probably target Gold area in Onalaska. And then Thursday, December 9th, we'll be taking those gifts and wrapping them, and probably at Meter right here downtown, like a block away. So it'll be really fun. We're using our, this is a different one.
Yeah, that's a different side.
Okay.
Hang tight on that one.
So December 8th to 9th, put it on your calendars. It'll be a lot of fun.
Thank you. Amy, was that what you were? Okay, we'll cover. Okay. Ugly Sweater 5K. So we have a lot of slots filled, but we opened up some new slots because there is still a lot to do. This is our biggest fundraiser of the year. We clear thousands of dollars from this. So if you have time, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right, Ashley? please sign up. If you have questions, please reach out to Ashley as well. Next slide, please. Daily sweater, what a beautiful t-shirt, I guess long sleeve shirt. Was there anything, Ashley, to add to that?
No, I don't think so. We're doing pretty well. I'm volunteer, so people sign up online. They're always email James. I did already have to order the t-shirts, so I can't promise you that you'll get one in your size, but we'll do our best. You're still welcome to sign up to run. Faculty for that.
Excellent. All right, next slide, please. Fundraiser event updates. So in the past, we've done a number of service events, we've always done one service event, which is Riverfest putting up fencing. We've earned some money from it, but this year, whether it was COVID or what, there were a lot of opportunities. You guys came, you stepped up, and we were able to do a lot of really cool things and raise some money. So we raised $1,400 for Airfest for doing parking. Next slide. What a beautiful day. It's a little different than the weather out there today. We raised $576 from Riverfest and then another $200 in miscellaneous. So next slide, please. And then Oktoberfest was the big winner. $1,400 between $1,000 for actually doing service and then another $457 in tips. So thank you, Jennifer, for putting us onto that. And
You guys can have that same spot next year.
And I know, Caitlin, thanks for setting that up. And I know there was a scramble to get enough people that were willing to do that at the late shift. So thank you for going above and beyond and making sure those thoughts were filled. We appreciate it because we know it was quite a bit of work. So thank you. But in total, we raised an extra $3,633. So we went to the board. All your hard work and your time and your effort to do that. So we, as a board, we had some conversations with the service committee and service chair, and we went and said, hey, we want to get this money out to the community doing some good. We also want to support Polio Plus. Next slide, please. So what we did is we looked at still giving to polio. Basically, everyone just want to do this, but we wanted to do more good than just writing checks. Next slide, please. So we, Caitlin was talking about, for goodness sake. So we are going to sponsor families for $1,000 to purchase items for basic needs such as clothing, diapers, and some holiday gifts. At this time of year when family, there's so much need year round of a goodness sake program. People are familiar with it. We're going to do a service event with it. So it's more than just writing a check. We're also giving $1,000 to Grow Lacrosse. If you're not familiar with Grow Lacrosse, it's an organization that focuses on children and teaching them healthy eating habits, healthy cooking, gardening, things like that. So really focused around youth and hunger. So we're trying to focus in on areas, part of our strategic plan, part of where club focus is. And then last but not least, we agreed to put $1,600 towards Rotary Polio Plus. So that puts us very well towards our annual Polio Plus goal. And we didn't have to have Brandon come and ask anybody for money. So for those who have experienced, we appreciate all you've done in the past, Brandon, but for those who have been here for one of Brandon's polio presentations, they're just riveting. But what's that, Bill? Okay. Okay. Next slide, please. So this year we wanted to get the money out into the community doing good. We know it's the holidays, things are busy. But one of the suggestions was to look at ideas for next year. If we're doing these events, getting people more involved, doing something, what community causes do we care about as a club? How do we get more involved in some smaller things, not necessarily Shark Tank level, but looking at donating and partnering with different organizations through the community. So more to come, but wanted to give that update and share the good work that we've been able to do and the service community and Caitlin have achieved. So next slide. Never pinning. I got 10 minutes. All right. Kelly, I believe you're out of line, so we will save your pin and name tag for next time. Bradley. Come on up. Bradley, I wanted to formally present your official Rotary name tag and Rotary International tag. So, Rotary Pride, congratulations, and you welcome to the club officially. You know you've done it.
Yeah, they're over here.
Neil, come on down. So, Neil, I'd like to present you with your official Rotary International pay. Congratulations. A number of these with COVID, we've been a little behind schedule, but Sierra, come on down. Your Rotary pin, your Rotary name tag. Congratulations. Cool. So, Phil, you gotta show us the check. You gotta show us the check. That's correct. Show us the form. I know. So, congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. There's Carson here. Okay, so we have Dean, please come forward. You're in trouble, Dean. So,
I just want to assure you that I had no intention of being here at 5:30. But the Wisconsin Badgers are playing in the Maui Classic. I don't know if any of you are following that. They took on a number 11 team in the nation that just absolutely walloped Baylor yesterday. And the Wisconsin Badgers won tonight 65-63. So it was a great night, and that's why I was late in getting here. Sorry about that.
that's what it is. Well, I appreciate the apology. You're good. You So Dean is, Dean holds a special place in our club's heart. He was one of the people that helped us form After Hours originally 10+ years ago. And he's also one of our most frequent visitors. So we thought, since he's pretty much a honorary member, he's not really a guest. We thought we'd get him his own name tag. So, Dean.
Grandpa.
No.
Oh, the Godfather.
The Godfather.
Thank you very much. Just let me go back 10 years. It started with a conversation with a lady by the name of Maria Norbert, who got the grounded. And she was coming off as the Rotaract president. And I said, Maria, why aren't you young people, your generation, joining our clubs, our traditional clubs? And she said, well, we walk in the room and we see our moms and dads at best and our grandmas and grandpas at worst. You meet at the wrong time of the day, you cost too much, and quite frankly, we don't talk the same language. And so I said, well, then why don't we form a club that kind of meets your expectations and your needs? And we decided that 14 days later, 2 weeks later, we're going to meet at the Wine Guys, and we're going to each bring 4 people. 13 people showed up at that meeting, including Garvey. Okay, so actually, in almost record time, this club got formed. We had 28 charter members. And the folks down at Rotary International were absolutely thrilled to be able to manipulate what we call classifications at that point in time, and they really made it happen. And here you are today, 50-some members. And I'm really proud of this club. You really you fill the need for a younger generation to find their place into Rotary. And boy, you're a legend here. Yeah, Rotary District 6250. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dean. for everyone who, got your pin tonight, wear it with pride, wear your name tag with pride, your Rotary pin. Sometimes I've heard many stories of people who are traveling, who are someplace, they're wearing the Rotary pin and somebody says, hey, what's that? Or, hey, I know a Rotarian, or hey, I'm a Rotarian. It opens up conversations. It starts kind of that snowball effect that you never know where it leads. So again, thank you to everyone here with him tonight, and hopefully we've got a few new future members as well. But we'll do a picture after the meeting for the new members, new PIN members. But thank you again, and we're so glad you joined us. Next slide. I think we are
Early.
on time, so we have people starting to pop in. Not yet, so we'll probably won't do anything formal, we'll just continue going as they go. Bill, would you like to kick us off, and Razia, whenever she joins, will.
Sure. Good evening. I'm gonna go over here because Lisa's telling me to stand right. Sure.
That's good.
Here, okay. Good to see everybody. For those of you that don't know who I am, you're very blessed. My name is Bill Pritchard. I've been a member of the club for a few years. This is the first time you've seen me this year. I don't think I've been to a meeting in person, but I'm on the screen a lot. So I see Bill Hull and a few other people up there. Good, Bill, you're looking. God, Bill Hull looks good tonight, doesn't he? Oh, wait a minute, Bill Hull. God, Bill Hull. There you go, there you go. But last year, I was honored to be your district governor for this district, District 6250, following the illustrious footsteps of Dean and many, many others. But when I got the call to introduce and talk about Razia, I could not pass this up, and I wanted to come out and be with you tonight. I mean, not very often in our midst will we have a CNN hero. And if you don't know what a CNN hero is, go look it up. Okay, these are people that CNN has identified over the years that have literally changed the face of the world through their work. And if you've ever seen the video on Razia, you got to go look at it, because this woman is beyond fierce. She is a force of nature. And a few years back, after the September 11th, after the towers fell, she felt compelled to go back to her home country of Afghanistan and to address some of the issues she saw there. One of the major ones being the education of girls. And so she opened schools throughout Afghanistan to teach these girls. Over 1,000 students she's had so far, in a culture that makes it at best challenging to do that. Now, I had never met her, okay? I hadn't even seen her on CNN, because television, I don't get along very well. But I watched it at Bill Hull's conference. She was a guest. And I want to tell you this little brief story. How many of you in here work for a nonprofit organization? Okay? Listen carefully to this as an example of how you get things done. Because at Bill's conference, Bill had a number of remarkable speakers. And before Razia came on stage, there was this wonderful, wonderful young lady who talked about human trafficking. And it was a moving, horrid story that made you just compelled to go do something. And when these people are often done talking at a Rotary conference, they'll open it up for questions. And you are sitting at a Rotary district conference, you're sitting in front of 500 or more business leaders, business professionals from across the state. And then inevitably somebody will ask a question that's something like this. They'll say, you know, you're sitting in front of talking to a number of business professionals from across the state. What can we do to help your cause? Now, this young lady who was involved with human trafficking felt so strongly about it, but she hadn't heard that question before. So she answered something like, spread the good news. Tell my message, get my message out there so other people could hear it. We all went, yeah, we got you. And then Razia came on stage. Razia sat in the chair in the middle of it, compelled that audience, kept us in her hand the entire time. We get to the end, we open it up for questions. Of course, the question comes from the crowd, we're Rotarians. So what can you're talking to a group of business professionals, what can we do to help? And without a moment's pause, she says, I need a bus. And she told the story of what happens to her buses in Afghanistan, breaking down, shot at, things that are unspeakable to us. And I know what happened at my table, and I'll bet you it happened at hundreds of other tables too. Rotarians looked at each other. We can make this happen. And this district pulled together, this city pulled together and raised money to help her get a bus to help her kids in Afghanistan. That's when I first met her. And we were so moved by her that at our president-elect training seminar in Chicago, we asked her to come back out and speak to all of the presidents from the 7, 8, 9 districts across. So we're talking 200, 300 club presidents like Josh. She's there, and she gets off the airplane. Andy Backham from the downtown club picks her up at the airport, and he comes to me after she gets there. He goes, she's having a bad day. Is she having a bad day? She's having a bad day. Because she had found out when she got on the airplane that the government had changed some set of rules that made all of her textbooks and all of her materials not acceptable. They were playing a game. Change the rules so she can't teach the kids. Change the rules so she can't teach the kids. She was spitting mad. Andy told the story. Told it to Marissa, told it to Josh, told it to a few others. I was the governor-elect at that time. They grabbed me in the hallway, cornered me. I couldn't get away. Said, we should get her some new books. Let's make that happen. Because that's what Rotarians do. Okay? So Razia has been a part of our district's lives for years. And just the last thing before I turn it over to this remarkable lady, if she's here yet, is my wife, how many of you met my wife? Hey, you don't see a lot of my wife, Jackie. It's not like your wife, Dean. She kind of stays in the background a little bit, right? And she goes, before I leave this, she goes, what are you doing tonight? I go, I'm going to go introduce Razia. And she goes, oh, make sure Razia says hi. Say hi to Razia for me. My wife never does that, okay? That's the impact this lady has had in our lives here. And it's just an honor to know her, and it's an honor to know that in the world, people exist like her that make our world a better place. And so when Josh asked, how could I say that? So, is she here?
Not quite. She's probably on in the next couple months.
Great.
Pizza break.
Pizza break. Before we get, you want to make sure you get a refreshment, ready to go, and possibly some tissue, because you might need it for Razia as well.
I'm gonna switch over to-
Well, it was up to 61. It was 59. How do you want to do
Hi, Marissa. Hi, Marissa.
I would have admitted her. I did not admit her. I don't like this. And the settings of the account need to be changed to mute everything when they come in. Oh my God. Oh my God. Well, I know who it was. I don't know if anybody else.
I'll take care of Tommy if I do.
Yeah, no, it's not. So if you're coming- because it looks weird when it's on our because it does like not in the windows. It's weird. I don't. So you can see it here. That's the deal. So looking at the screen, it'll do like 3 of them, and it'll be the speaker, and then random 2 other shows.
There's people asking questions.
Do you get a lot of echo? I'm wondering if
Everybody's muted. I don't know where it's.
I'm wondering if do you get a lot of echo? If is the audio gonna be loud enough? We can do that on everything else.
Tried that.
Let's go to the chat. Questions are?
I wanted to see. I don't know. Like this. It would be nice to see more. There isn't a PowerPoint program, so it's not a big deal. But like doing this.
Hi, Razia.
Hello, how are you?
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Bill's here too. Bill's here. We had a few extra minutes, so we actually already did your introduction. We talked a little bit about the bus project coming out of La Crosse, and we talked a little bit about the books at Midwest Pets back in 2019. So the crowd is raring and ready to go. We have a good number of people here in the room, and then we've also got a number of people online. So we're so thrilled you could be here with us tonight. And unless you take it away, unless you'd like us to ask specific questions.
Well, I just want to let you know that, the bus is running very nicely. And, thrilled that we are using it continuously to support these girls. With things the way they are, I think they are much safer. And I think the reason that the Taliban are allowing them to come to school is because they are coming by bus and they're not walking on the street. And so I think that makes a lot of difference for us to continue educating these girls. And so I think we had a very, kind of terrible year, I should say, from, but we survived, and I'm not giving in, and we are going to continue giving these girls education. So far so good. They haven't closed our school, or they haven't told us not to educate these girls, or so I think I hope that their attention would be more like really working together and making a difference for the women in Afghanistan. And another thing is that we just had 120 girls registered for kindergarten. This is like 3 times more than usual. Usually it's between 30 to 35 girls every year, but this year we have 120 girls that we registered, and so I think maybe another out of these 120, maybe 15 or 20 of them will go to first grade after 2-3 months of winter classes. So we are just, and also fortunately the Taliban gave us permission. So the girls after graduating, they can come to the institute and take English and computer science classes, which is really great because these girls that are graduating, they have missed so much of school. And I really want them to learn something to go forward. And if we can give them this opportunity to really continue their education in the institute, that would be awesome. So, and they are allowing us to do that, which is great. So these are the, I mean, under the circumstances, but these are the positive things, and that's what I'm looking every day and every minute, that things are working and girls are going to school and they are not stopping us. So that's a blessing. And I'm planning to go on the 2nd of December. I'm going to Qatar first, and from there, I think I have to fly to Pakistan first, and then from there to Afghanistan. So I'm just planning to do that and hope for the best.
So, as I understand it, you opened a second school recently. Is that correct?
Well, no, not second school, but we just built a larger building with 37 classrooms. It's a 3-story, but that's an elementary school because I think the growth is going to be, that's why we got 120 girls in kindergarten. So we'll have 3-4 classes in that new school for kindergarten. So I think it's just the growth is going to be there, and with the situation, I want these girls to get education, and if they can learn a little bit, that's a blessing. So I'm going to kind of make sure that we give them all the help that they need. And so these girls the elementary school will go to the new building, and the 7th to 12th grade, the high school will stay in the old building.
Excellent. Any questions from the group? Have you had any challenges with teachers? With the change with the Taliban, have all the teachers continued to come and teach?
Yeah, they are. Some of them have left the country. If they had if their husband worked for Americans or in the embassy. So a couple of my teachers have left, but most of my teachers are here. I have about 32 teachers that right now are present, yes.
What's, the new classrooms, the bus, what's next on your list? What's the next project?
Well, I'm dying. I was just about to ask you. Well, the bus is there, but we need furnishing for the classroom. And each classroom will cost about 20 to 25,000 for kindergarten. And that will be 2-3 classrooms that I will furnish for them with the desks and carpet, and because usually they sit on the floor, they are too little. And they have little desks that I will. So this is my next really ask. I don't know how much you guys can help us. We need desperately help to go forward and really make it possible. While I'm there, I want to make sure that I have the desk built up and have a carpenter come there and build all the equipment that we need for the classrooms.
Well, that's exciting. Thank you for sharing. So we'll see what we can do.
Thank you so much.
Marissa, Dean, go ahead.
Afghanistan, of course, is one of the 2 last countries with the wild polio virus, and all things that are happening there in Afghanistan. Do you have any understanding or feeling for how the ongoing polio eradication effort is going there in Afghanistan, all things considered?
Did you hear that?
No, could you repeat it?
The question was with polio still being wild in Afghanistan and the Taliban taking over, how is, vaccinations, along with COVID, how have vaccinations, is polio still being fought, or are things kind of?
I think there is not much polio, hopefully not. Last that I knew of, that it was kind of under control. There was certain area that they had one or two child that kind of had polio, but it's with these conditions, it's possible that it could, really get wild. And as for the COVID injections, they were all from China or India. And all my teachers and the girls that were up to 17-year-old, they all had their shots of COVID. And we have not lost one teacher or one student with COVID. So, which is great, great blessing.
Grateful for that. Other questions?
But right now, the conditions are pretty bad. The families are doing very badly because there's nothing for them. And so we have to really support kind of the whole family. So the girls are not hungry, and they have winter jackets, winter boots, So that's it's a tough time.
I recall reading in the news that there was concerns around hunger and just food, having enough food in the country in general with the Taliban
it's so
takeover.
expensive. Everything has like doubled and tripled, and the value of Afghani has gone so down. So for people to just get a piece of bread is awful. So yes, there is a lot of hunger and sickness too, really, among, in Kabul and places. And so we want to make sure that my kids get at least one meal, okay, like a breakfast or something. And if I could maybe start again giving them breakfast in the morning, a piece of bread and a cup of tea with a little milk in it, that would be awesome. So these are the things that, could be done.
Many of those things that we take for granted here in the United States. So, Melissa, did you have?
Hey, Razia, we have a question from Kathy online, and she's wondering if you're able to accept desks and supplies from the United States for the school.
No, I can't, because there is no way to take them. There is no, you can't, there used to be FedEx, and you send one kilo, and that would cost like $1,200, and I couldn't do it. So there is no way we can send anything. Yes, you can get things there. If somebody donates to our organization and they can tell us exactly where to use it, and we will, and then we'll send her pictures and make sure and a receipt that this is what the money was spent for. But from here, I can't take anything. It's impossible to send anything right now.
Any other questions online?
Razia, this is Gibran. I'm a member of the club over here. I'm originally from Pakistan, from Islamabad, Pakistan. What I want to know is, are the supplies, are you going to order them from Pakistan or one of the neighboring countries?
Yeah, Pakistan is very good. I think we can get from a lot of things, posters and things from Pakistan, notebooks and things like this. And the supplies come to Afghanistan from Pakistan, and then we buy from the store that we always do business with. Yes.
Thank you.
Any last thoughts, Razia? I don't think we have any other questions, but any last thoughts? Otherwise, I'll close this up.
Hey, Josh, I don't know whether you guys can hear me there. I hope Razia can hear me.
Sure.
I have one last question.
Yes, we
Go ahead.
can hear you.
Razia, Bill Hall, I'm curious, you have long enjoyed the support of your village and the people in your area, which is why your school is still succeeding.
Sure.
How is that still going on with the, with the pressure that the Taliban and the government change puts on the country?
Well, it's there is this area that I have the school, and I've said it many, many times, that these are the Mujahideens that fought the Taliban and fought the Russians. So really, Taliban don't come here. And if they come like maybe one of them come to the school, and they don't even come in because they don't want to sit with the woman. And they will be outside and they will ask questions or whatever. They did it a few times, but not anymore. But they send other people that are used to work for the Ministry of Education. And they are normal people, and they come and they sit and they talk to us and have a cup of tea with us, and it's fine. But the Taliban themselves, they don't come, which is such a blessing, I think.
Well, Razia, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're so grateful to get an update on the school, on the bus, and that the girls are doing well. We've been so glad to partner with you in the past, and hopefully we'll be able to partner together soon. But thank you for all the good things that you're doing for those girls and for Afghanistan. It's a place that surely needs as much help as it can get.
I'm telling you, it's like a dark hole, and we are trying to pull them out from it, and we'll see. Just we can't give hope. That's it.
We can't give up hope. So, but we know that you have a lot going on, and life is not exactly calm and peachy. So we appreciate that you made time for us tonight and to share the story and update us. And unless there's anything else, we'll let you go. But thank you again. It was wonderful to see you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
So, let's see. Do we have a PowerPoint? All right. Well, for those of you who weren't here, weren't part of the club or weren't here when we went through this with Razia with the bus project, Bill spoke a little bit about that. It's pretty powerful. It's these girls are turning into midwives. They're learning computer science. They're learning all these skills they haven't been able to learn for a generation. So it's a pretty cool thing that they're able to do. And it's even cooler to see that the school is growing, evolving, and getting better and better, and it will help more and more. So there's some pictures of the bus. I believe that's the bus driver in that very cute black and red plaid. Is that right? It kind of looks like Brandon. Brandon, you've been traveling.
No, I do it. Service bus.
As Bill said, right, the safety, just because the school is considered a relatively safe zone, that doesn't mean the girls walking to school were safe. There were attacks, there were things like that. So being able to not only extend the range that they can get those girls, but to keep them safe to and from school is very important. So yeah, it's a cool story. And if you ever get the chance to hear Razia speak, she's got some pretty incredible stories, confronting some of these people, some of these men that don't want children to be educated, and then confront, having some of the people, fathers and grandfathers coming to her school and reserve spots for their, freshly born children so that they can educate them. So it's a pretty cool story. Worth anything yet? Next meeting, December 14th. We are still, the new venue committee is still meeting, so we don't have a hold yet, but we will come up with some place to meet before that. But we'll be talking about community needs and opportunities and potential partners in preparation for Shark Tank and, projects in the spring. So, any other last minute announcements or questions? Well, thank you everybody for coming tonight. I know that James, our normal happy hour ranger, isn't here tonight, but I'm sure if anybody's interested in going out there, I imagine there'll be a couple of people who might join. But thank you all for coming. Thank you to our friends online for joining us, and have a wonderful evening.
Hey, Josh.
Yes. Oh, the five-way test. Yeah. Yeah, that was just testing. Yeah, that's why we have Lisa. Somebody's got to make sure that I remember everything. So, is it the truth?
Is it fair to all concerned? Will it promote better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Is it fun?
All right. Now, am I ready? Am I ready? Can I
Yes,
dance?
yes,
Okay.
go ahead.
Thank you, everyone.
I told somebody at work the other day, I'm like, I'm really excited to have a space for stretch events to Thanksgiving this year. Yeah. It's been great. It's been great. But